haven't done it for long enough at different periods of time.
Hi everyone, it's Norman Kochnick here for Eyes on Cricket. I'm here, well, it's 1 a.m. in the morning here in Australia. It's bloody bit on the cold side and it's late, but I think the day has been one of those days where Indian cricket should be embracing the fact that their women have just got themselves through to play for the gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. I think that's a huge effort, especially to beat England, the women's team, who were virtually undefeated. A team that probably, you would argue, to challenge Australia in the gold medal round, but I'm afraid that it won't be England, it'll be India. Australia and India are guaranteed gold and silver medal. Well, in what order, we don't know, but it's quite a magnificent effort, especially from the Australian side, to get there. But also now India have proven themselves to be very good. Now, it's interesting how they put on 160 runs, which is a commendable total, and then were able to defend that. And that's what I think is crucial here. We've got some people joining us, of course, for some Rain, India versus Australia. Thinks difficult to join virtually. Would love to listen to your views on how can a team defeat the Invincibles Australian. Only team to test them are India. So the way in which I believe, Sam Hizzle says it's a long time since I've taken a few days off. Another friend of mine, actually, a good friend of mine, David Latham, actually passed away last week, and I had to deal with that. It's another unfortunate circumstance there. A person I went to school with passing, which is not much fun. I'll also look here. We've got a few things going on. We've got the have a look here. The game between India and West Indies has been delayed. I think obviously Netherlands and New Zealand also played. Fairly unimaginative. Yeah, so the India West Indies matches, West Indies have won the toss and chosen to bowl, but match has been delayed by bad weather, so that's unfortunate. India versus England in the women's. Let's go through some of the scores here. We've got some. Here we are. Here. So effectively, hang on. So there's a bit of discussion here about. I'll just read some stuff. This is the India. Okay, so the rain is relented apparently, and there's a time for the toss. So so that that's a little situation here. See, India have got their little act together, I can see. Three changes there. Let's look what the changes are. So India have got Ravi Bishnoi, Akshar Patel, and Sanju Samson is in for Ashwin. Hardik Pandya takes a rest, and Shreyas Iyer takes a rest. The batting looks thin and the tail is long. We don't know if there are any fitness issues, and still no Harsh Patel. So India's team for that match is Rohit Sharma as captain, Sky Yadav, of course, Sanju Samson, Deepak Hooda, Rishabh Pant, Dinesh Karthik, Akshar Patel, Ravi Bishnoi, Avish Khan, Yuvendra Chahal, Ashdeep Singh's in the side. So West Indies have got Kyle Mayers, Brandon King, Poran, Hetmeyer, who's spelling there. So Hetmeyer, Rovman, Powell, Devon Thomas is keeping, Jason Holder, Akil Hussain, Dominic Drakes, he's related to Vasper Drakes, Alzari Joseph, and Abid McCoy. Here we go. Daniel Sams is a fine all-rounder. He finishes the 3.1 100 game yesterday. If he did, look, I'm not trying to discount him at all. I'm just going to put some of these spread photos up. So, but yeah, he's not in this league. Ram ready. Do you follow hockey? Australia versus England. Who will win? You'd have to think Australia. Ram ready. I think you have to say Australia for sure. There we go. Look at that bit of a flip in there. All right, so still a lot of yes. I'm so okay. So yeah, the hockey's on. The gold medal tallies are there for Australia versus England. We'll wait and see. So playing a few things, guys. Give me a second. All right, so yeah, Australia will win the hockey. I'm pretty sure. They've got a fantastic side, actually. So yeah, let's go back to this. So again, Bishnoi, Aksa Patel, and Sanju Samson are in. Out goes Ashwin, Hardik, Pandya, and Shrev. So I'm giving a bit of a rest, I'm sure. And of course, the side will be with Western East choosing to field bowl. The test is in Lauderhill, which is in Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Another place very well. All right, let's have a look here. So let's go back to the India number 5. Australia is on top, India number 5. And what are you talking about there? In hockey or cricket? Sure, through Australia. He is leaning really well, mate. He's learning really well, mate. Who is learning? Okay. All right. So let's have a look here. In the scorecard, Indian women were in the end 5-164 with Smriti Mandala getting a magnificent 61 off some 32 balls, hitting 8 4s and 3 6s. Shafali Verma didn't get up too much of a chance, 15. Jamal Rodriguez came in and scored 44. Pavanpreet Kaur chipped him a 20. Tipti Sharma got 22, and that's where they ended after 20 overs. But that should have been should be defendable for England. But England started well with Sophie Dunkley and Danny Wyatt going very well, but unfortunately, 1935 respectively. I think Nat Sheila got 41, Amy got 31. They struggled towards the end, and the bowling was very, very tight. They were 6-1-52 after the 19 points race. They basically stuck. They couldn't go past them. They missed out by four runs, and England are out. Australia play. Well, I shouldn't say Australia. We don't know yet. Australia play New Zealand shortly, and another couple of hours. Australia play New Zealand, but in fact, the winner of that plays India for the silver medal playoff, or the gold medal playoff. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, so just under 2 hours when Australia play New Zealand, they're playing the second semi-final. India through. India will definitely get a gold or a silver medal. It looks like New Zealand and England will probably be playing off for the bronze, and Australia will join India in the contest, which is quite a ball over. So let's have a look at I was going to look at the medal tally for a minute. ECB. Very disturbing photo. Yes, that's and then you'll compete. Yeah, it's a very disturbing little thing here for England. They're probably very, very dejected about losing that match. As a matter of fact, they were probably expecting to be odds on the win. And they haven't done so. I keep on posting. It's always worth noting when. All right, so We've still got a couple of hours to go here. My South team beat the Warriors, some 48 points to 10. Very disturbing. Okay. A big day for India. I wanted to show you the tally of the medals. I've posted that on my community page. I hope you're all watching the community page and checking out what's there. But let's have a look here. The medal tally. We'll go through that now. Pull it up. Oh, isn't it? There it is. Here we go. All right. So the medal tally, Liam Walker isn't. Liam Walker isn't what? Isn't what, Sam? So Australia got some 140. God, I can't even read it now. 146 medals, 55 gold, 45 silver, and 46 bronze. England is second on 137, so they're effectively 9 medals behind in total. They've got 48 gold as opposed to Australia's 55, 47 silver, 2 more than our silver Australia. So, yep, and then 42 bronze. So, yeah, so Australia 55, 45, 46, England 48, 47, 42. And then you have Canada coming in third with 19, 27, 28 was a total of 74 medals. Then New Zealand 17, 11, 14, which is 42. Then India is in fifth with 9, 11, and 10. So they've got 30 medals. Very impressive. Sixth is Scotland. Seventh is Nigeria. Eighth, South Africa. Ninth, Malaysia. And 10th is Wales. Plus 11th is Jamaica, Kenya, Northern Ireland, Cyprus, Uganda, Singapore, Samoa. Pakistan's in 18th. Cameroon 19th, 20th, Trinidad and Tobago, Bermuda, Grenada, the Bahamas, Fiji, Mauritius. Sri Lanka's 26th, Tanzania, Barbados 28th, Dominica, Guernsey, Papua New Guinea, St. Lucia, the Gambia, Namibia, Botswana, Malta, Mozambique, Nauru, and Zambia coming in at 35th. So yeah, there we go. Football, Liam Walker. Right, okay, well, I know why are we talking about a footballer, Sam Hazlett? Yeah, one of those is very well. So, do we seriously think India can beat Australia if Australia beats New Zealand to make their way through to the World Cup final? I would argue they can. They'll have to exploit their slow bowling capability. Bat first, put scoreboard pressure on it, give Australia a bit of a wobble at the beginning. I think they should approach it the same way they approached England, whereas they bat first, get runs on the board, and then put enormous pressure on the Australian team who is expected to win the gold medal. So pressure is probably the key to that match, and that will be very interesting to see whether that's what they in fact do. That will be interesting, I must say. Look here. It's a very daunting prospect to facing Australia in any format of cricket, and women's cricket especially, because the Australian team is saying is invincible. Well, no team is invincible. Once you beat them, you beat them. Just trying to see where. Okay. Try. Try. Yeah, we've already gone to a substantial number. They've got 84 Commonwealth Games, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, look, at this early stage, hello, India gold coming in the cricket. Well, it could well happen. It's not out of England should have been unbeatable, and India proved they can beat them. So there you go. It says a lot, being honest. Very, very impressive situations. So, Commonwealth Games, medal tally with Australia 55 leading the pack, and I'm very impressed by that. They've done very, very well. So Sam Hislett's running. Good thing we got Sams, Green, Ellis, McDermott, Inglis, who are interesting players, which Australian can invest, can invest in for the next 10 years. We have, I'd say out of that, McDermott and Ellis, certainly Green, obviously, English, yeah, the big four. Sam's is certainly he's faring there. He's certainly faring in that lot. Yes, I'll agree with that. The hockey, the stories. I've got the updates on the hockey. Let's go check what channels on. There's all sorts of stuff on here, right? 107 was the channel I saw. Had it earlier. You've got to be able to keep track of all this. It's particularly hard when it was the Olympics, but the one team live burning. Here we go. We're watching here. Now the men's beach volleyball, diving and hockey semi-final there. Beach volley, we think Australia's got a good chance of getting through on that one. Bangladesh is playing like test match yesterday night. Yeah, against Zimbabwe. Yeah, it was pretty bloody, wasn't it? Very slow and yeah. Vishal Patel. It's a pleasure to play against Australian quality women's cricketers. Yes, certainly. Elsa Healy, Rachel Haynes, the bevy of Liz Perry when she's fit. Certainly. Make comments, guys. I'm here to talk. It's 1 for 7 minutes. This is my. I can't remember this down. It's about 1,372, I think it is. The number of 1,372. I've used a bit of a recorded there where number is. 1,372nd video, 1372. 916 recorded, and this is the 456th live show. 456. Oh, time. Okay. It is a pleasure to watch the running on the screen. There's a bit of a relation. They certainly are deemed to be unbeatable. But England was certainly meant to be the ones to play Australia, and India's just knocked them off. So India should be going into this match with nothing to lose, or they've already got a silver medal. That's guaranteed, which is massive to start with. But they could go for gold, and no one would have expected them to win that. So they've got a bloody good chance. Bloody good chance. Just phenomenal if India can beat Australia. And the key is slow bowling and good, steady, slow bowling. There it is. Okay. What other questions you want to ask? The Australian women's team is a pretty good one. New Zealand, well, they're pretty good too, but they probably are outdone by Australia. And you would think that Australia should win them easily. There's no doubt about that. Watching some beach volleyball. Australia's taken 55 medals. We'll go through that again in a minute. Let's just have a look here. So the key here is for this Australia and New Zealand, which is just an hour and 3/4 away. In the Australian, so the players to watch from Australia's perspective. Talia McGrath's getting quite a rap, I must say. Meg Lanning, of course. And from New Zealand side, the old stalwarts, Susie Bates and Sophia Devine. In bowling, Alana King's coming into her own, as well as Jess Johansson. And New Zealand got Hayley Jensen, who's played a lot of cricket in Australia. And Sophie Devine was also backing up there with the ball. But it's certainly a quality all rounder. Australian men's beach volleyballs, they're very, very good. So the Australian squad, women's squad that is the following. Meg Lanning as captain, Rachel Haynes as vice captain, or can be captain in her absence. Darcy Brown, Nicola Carey, Ashley Gardner, Grace Harris, Plus Peace, Alyssa Healy, Jess Johnson, Alana King, Talia McGrath, Beth Mooney, who's a good player, just hasn't had much of a Shirley, Elise Perry, Megan Schutz, Annabelle. Tough, Amanda Jade Wellington in bowls. As far as the New Zealand squad is concerned, Sophie Devine, Susie Bates, Eden Carson, Isabella Gaze, Maddie Green, who's very good, Claudia Green, who's another one, Brooke Halliday, Hayley Jensen, we know about in Australia, Fran Jonas, someone who plays it, Amelia Kerr is a good player, Rosemary Mayer, Jessica McFadden, Georgia Plymouth, not sure who it is, Hannah Rowe, Leah Tahuhu. So Hannah Rowe is, I hope it's not who they expect it to be. So the results last seen here, Australia won by 8 wickets, by 5 wickets, by 6 wickets, and the last one, 30th of March 2021, New Zealand beat Australia 4 wickets. Looks a bit messy to me. Okay. So, update about Big Bash drafts and above Buttervolt. So really there's a whole host of players in that draft, but its major concern to Australia is that Dave Warner still hasn't signed up and he wants $500,000 contract. So does, I think Chris Lynn's in the same boat, and you got obviously Finch and a few others there. Stoinis, probably not Wade. Yeah, Wade could be there too. Also, people such as Cam Green. I'm going to be, come on. The ultimate plan is, of course, the IPL squads want to have them year round. If they have them year round, that means that they're going to play for players to play in obviously in India for the IPL and the South African and UAE comps and one in Caribbean and a few others that are going to trump up. They want them year round, they're going to be paid handsomely. So that means that if that's the case, then Warner may have to count his his 1 day, 20 days to an end because he makes a confident on the big money he'll get from the other competition. So there you go. OP to worry. Australia England winning mostly in the Commonwealth Games, but cheater umpires and supervision staffs. Well, no, I don't think there's no truth in that. Yeah. So look at the situation here. I would have liked you to help me out, guys, rather than take. So the Big Bash is really, the draft is still yet to be fully determined. A lot of players have been highlighted, including Australians. Obviously, other players are subject to fitness and coming over as well. I would expect to see 1 or 2 Australian sides there. It's a good point. OP tomorrow. Australia versus England winning mostly. Synergy of Bashida. Yep. Okay. Very late, guys. But Australia versus New Zealand, you would think Australia will win that. That means Australia and India will play off for gold and then ultimately silver. And in the case of bronze, New Zealand will have to play against England. Decide who has the rights to that particular slot. Samantha Washington, how are you? I'm pretty good. I'm pretty tired. Will there be full supporters allowed in the upcoming Big Bash? Well, you would think so. I mean, you talk about COVID restrictions? Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem at all whatsoever. There'll be full crowds. They're going to need them. Let's just say the least. So, you would hope that we'd have. Well, the thing is, if the IPL do buy into South Africa and the UAE, other England series to try to copy or emulate what they do with the Big Bash, then we're in some trouble. But we can keep that going if we would embrace that and put teams into the IPL and satisfy all and sundry. There's your answer to that. Who, according to you, will be heading towards World Test Championship finals? Well, if I come in, it'll be in red. It's extremely late, guys. The World Test Championship, you have to still say, and Anabov was asking me. Australia are in the box seat. South Africa is still there or thereabouts. They'll get beaten by England and Australia, and they'll be out. They'll be between not Sri Lanka, Pakistan, India, and maybe Sri Lanka. Did you watch any of this? Of course I did. What an amazing game, an absolute amazing performance by women in blue, getting to the tournament final. It's a huge effort. Strongly for a watch. It's a huge effort by India. Beating an England side that really, quite frankly, have not been beaten. Very impressive indeed. All right, so we've got the toss is not for another hour, guys. Another hour. I wonder. IWS, we were on. Do you like the bass bat there? We've got one over here, which you can't see, which is actually signed by Viv. And then that one there is signed by Winston Benjamin, by Curtly Ambrose, by Sir Wes Hall. They all signed that. Andy Robertson as well. How's winter in Australia? Unabove Barawajwat Dawaj. It is pretty pleasant actually. It's 18 degrees, so it's quite warm. Priyanka won the silver medal in 10K walked by a really good margin. She was absolutely great. Looked too calm and composed from the beginning, like she knew she would get the medal. Proud of her. Yeah, so you should be. Big effort. Big effort to do that well. Very big effort. Yeah, so another out for the toss. It's too long. It's the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, Northern England. Edgbaston is there. You're playing a lot of these matches on that ground. What an absolute huge six from Robert. He pulled into the stand. Now we're talking about the match that's going on now. What is the score? Hard to keep tabs. Really. What's that? Rohit Sharma is 19 or 10 balls. Is it 2 4s and 6? I need to just get that on the TV. Is there any coverage? I don't think there is. When do you show it on their own broadcasting platforms as a YouTube channel, but not anywhere else? I don't think. I thought it would. Hundreds live. Women's Open Golf, Western Ground, Golf, Most Open Diamond League Athletics, America's Game, Quick Pitch Live. There's nothing here at all about which is live. I can see live showcase from replay from horses, but okay. Yes, Australia ran on the gold in that event. If I'm not wrong, she also made the new games record. She won by big margin. Yep. Hi, Katajan, how are you? Well, what a shot from Sky. I like a shot for a 6. He bettered Roberts here. Well, there you go. Well, they're very free with their emotions. They're free with their ambitions at the moment as well. So. So I can't really show one there. What's the score? 28. Still pretty good. Yes, they're playing Edgbaston, Birmingham, Australia versus New Zealand. Winner that plays India, and then the losers, which of course will be probably New Zealand, will play against England, which I'm not expecting they'll be fighting out the bronze. Very disappointing. What a shot from Sky. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, can we hold another hour? So, I'm not going to last that long. You're very sleepy now. Very disappointing. Skies. Really, Sky Kuma, he's worthy of his place in the side by far. He's been very sound. Yeah, but Australia will smash New Zealand. Whether they'll beat Australia is the big question. Very proud of that win. Very, very, very proud. So women, Australia, Indian women won by 4 runs, not by a really margin, but it was big enough to win. So you didn't see that margin across. What's it? Okay. McCoy getting hooted here by Robert. He says here 1-4. Okay. Good. Okay. This is Rwanda who's playing now. Kathy, you're single, so can you help me get a girlfriend? How am I going to help you to go? You get me a girlfriend. That makes some sisters. You're single. How old are you, Tatiana? How old are you if you're single? Just talk to girls online and just ask one out. No strings attached. Just have a good time. Never have any strings attached. Just keep it uncomplicated. Yes. Haha, Norman, you want to play sideman here. Sideman? What do you mean? Like sidekick or a sidekick? A little bit. Oh. All right. I was asking questions. It's too late today, 2 o'clock. Turnbridge of Shuman. Right. So. Okay. Yes, sidekick or wingman for cutting up his girlfriend. Okay. Well, I don't want to play any sidekick, but I'll help him. Certainly I'll help him. I'll help anyone. Let's see those that help me. No, thanks, I'm straight. We're not saying you're not straight, are we? Insta ID, please, of mine. It's at Norm Koch. It's there. Look. There. At Norm Koch. Katya, that's my ID. At Norm Koch. It's good. I've gone past the surging little efforts there. So we've got anywhere up to another hour for the Australia New Zealand playoff to reach the gold medal round, which is where, of course, India are waiting. Mega war. We've got beach volleyball, boxing, table tennis, and lawn bowls all happening in that, which is good. The whole world at the table. Oh, God, I'm tired. So what are we saying here? Another. But in the match between India and the West Indies, what's happening? Is there anything happening there? India are none for 46 with Sky on 17 off 11 balls, 1-4 and 1-6. And Rohit Sharma's not at 27 off 13. His strike rate's well over 200. He's 2 4s and 2 6s, Rohit Sharma. Looking pretty bloody good. So the score there is none for 46 after 4 overs, and looks like West Indies going to be up for a mammoth total to chase. Yeah, there it is. So India none for 46 after 4 overs. With Surya Kumar Yadav, Sky as we call him, 17 off 11, 1-4, 1-6. And Rohit Sharma's just doubled by 27 runs off 13 balls, 2 4s, 2 6s. It's really hard and nailing it. Alzari Joseph 1 over for 6. That's pretty commendable. But OB McCoy, his 1 over cost him 25. Bloody expensive. He went for what? What did he go for? I can see he went for. A wide, and he goes 6, a 4, then a 1, then a 6. 12, 16. So he went for a wide, then he went for 6, 1, 6. He was 13, 17, 24, 25 of the massive. Harsha Jiwa, how are you? How can I watch Australia vs New Zealand? Well, you need to have Commonwealth Games coverage on Channel 7 you have here in Australia. So, yeah, you need to, well, the various countries, but I'm sure Star Sports, Channel 7 in Australia have it. So we're watching, I can watch that. It's coming up in about another hour or so, hour and 2 minutes, as a matter of fact. So it's not showing on Channel 7 in Australia, which is free to wear. It's on Sony LIV app. Okay, there you go. Download that. Good move. So after still we can watch a bit. So what we were watching before, what's the stat of how many you've got coming on? Okay. A long way from good. All right, guys. We'll wait another hour and 20 before that game starts, and I'm probably not going to survive it, guys. All right. Albi Juju is here. How are you, Albi Juju? Albi Juju, good stuff. I'm going to go rest for now. I'll see what Australia New Zealand convert. Albert Juju, tell us what you've been up to. Write a message. Ask Jiwa, we know what you're up to. Aussie or New Zealand will bring it on. Aussie or New Zealand, I think Australia will beat New Zealand. But England have been shell-shocked by India, so yeah, I guess anything's possible. New Zealand could cause an upset, but I think they will. Your thoughts on Serena Banana's innings today was fantastic, but their whole team did very well. Shafali Werner and Jemima Rodriguez, and they all chipped in. They got a nice big 160 odd. And even though England got close, they didn't pass it, which was quite shocking. So Smeo now is a bit of a champion, a bit of a legend for sure. Deservedly highly rated person. And they had nothing to lose there, but we thought they went for it. It was well worth it. Your thoughts on, I won't give my thoughts on Smith and Dunner. Watching each follow them out. There were ones are pretty good. Not many beaches in Rwanda. But Australia can be beaten if, again, India get a good total on the board and they put immense pressure on Australia. They got a chance. Australia will be thinking the same thing. That the choking that happened with England. Very much choking. So what can you describe it as? Yeah. Yeah. All right. I have to get some sleep, guys. But Australia will probably play India in the final, and there'll be an immense clash, which I will lay out for that one. All right, so we will start. All right, guys, I'm going to bed. I would you do Pakistan. Hang on. Your thoughts on recent blasts in cricket areas, Afghanistan and Pakistan? Like, so recent blast in cricket areas. Oh, I don't think there's anything we'll be able to do. We can't bother it. Like when I met COVID, we have to just deal with it and move on. That's my thoughts on that. All right, Albert Juju, you go on and watch the game, and I'll comment on it later. We'll talk about it in my morning time. It's now guys. It is now 1:43 a.m. I'm well beyond capable of staying up this late. I'm a big boy, but I'm not that big a boy. All right. We'll talk to each other very soon again. Take care.